Professor Jagdish Mukhi, the Honorable Governor of the state, the Speaker of the Assam Assembly, Sri Vishwajit Doimari, former Judge Justice Kautoki, former civil servants, serving officers of the state, advocates, members of the Bar Council, the media, students, and teachers of law colleges. And I estimate tells me that the majority of the audience are students. So I'll tell you, I'll address the students and I will tell constitutional stories, not constitutional sermons, values, principles. The predecessor document to the Constitution was the Government of India Act 1935. This was not acceptable. And you know who raised the demand for the constitution of a constituent assembly to debate on a constitution for the country? M.N. Roy, a communist, 1930, was the first one. We should have a constituent assembly. It took 16 years. You know, it became a part of the demand for independence. We must have a constituent assembly. It took 16 years. 9th of December, 1946, before independence, was the first sitting that got adjourned, and the next was on 14th of August, 1947. I'll tell you, the initial membership of the Constituent Assembly was 389 members. They were elected by the provincial assemblies. It was an elected body. The number got dwindled to 299 because Pakistan in June 1946 had its own Constituent Assembly. June 1947. The discussions in the Constituent Assembly were spread out over, some say 114 days, some say 148 days, whatever it may be, for over 100 days. Spread out over a period of 3 years. Professor and the former President Radhakrishnan, on the first day of sitting of the Constituent Assembly, has gone on record in saying something which held a lot of meaning for the future, and if you permit me, I would like to quote Dr. Radhakrishnan. He said that it is essential for any constitution which is drawn up to make all the citizens realize that their basic privileges, education, social and economic, are afforded to them, that there will be cultural autonomy, that nobody will be suppressed, that it will be a constitution which will be democratic in the true sense of the term, where from political freedom we will march on to economic freedom and equity. Every individual should feel that he is proud to belong to this great land. That's how the debate and the discussions in the Constituent Assembly started. Eventually, on this day of the year 1949, it was adopted and made effective, as we all know, from 26th of January 1950. Strangely, it was only in 2015 that this very sacred day came to be known as the Constitution Day. Earlier, when we were judges of the High Court, even Supreme Court, the day was celebrated as Law Day. The Constitution is a very unique document, unique not because of its contents. It's handwritten. And the borders, but before that let me tell you, do you know where the original copy of the Constitution is? On a lighter note, in Parliament, of which I am a part, not in the Supreme Court, of which I was a part. The Parliament is keeping safe custody of the Constitution, physically. Now, the borders of each page of the Constitution were designed by Nandalal Bose. It was single-handedly written by Prem Bihari Narayan Raizada, a master of calligraphy. It took him about 6 months to do it. He didn't charge anything. He didn't take any remuneration for it. He did it free of cost. The original Constitution was written on parchment sheets measuring 16 into 22 inches. It is estimated to have a lifespan of 1,000 years. The total weight of the Constitution is 3.75 kilograms. Amongst all my collections, my modest collections in my library, my most treasured possession is what I have brought for you to display. This is a copy of the original Constitution. It is handwritten.
Wow.
The borders are all floral, designed by Nandalal Bose. The handwriting is of Prem Narayan Raizada. 6 months. I'll pass it on. You can have a look, particularly the students. There's one secret in this document. Dr. Rajendra Prasad's signature appears at a place where it should not appear. It's the first signature on top of the signature of Jawaharlal Nehru. But it is slanted. I don't want to guess why it is slanted, but you can see the signature for yourself. Now, we'll pass it on to the dear students. Just have a look, but give it back to me. You can have a look at it later. I'll not take much time. The Constitution of India is the longest in the world. 32 chapters, 395 sections or articles, 12 schedules, and 105 amendments. The American Constitution is 7 articles. And Britain doesn't have a written constitution. But it works well everywhere. Britain, English constitutional history is a history of violence.